Before we get started, I want to show y'all something. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but it says 10:55, right? Okay. So it says 10:55. I just wanted to get on here because I know some of us have had really long journeys. Some of us have been on this journey for a long time, believing in God, having faith in God about, all the possibilities, everything that could possibly happen. Um, Guys, the Lord definitely brought me from a place that I didn't think that I would ever be able to come back from. And it was only right for me to give my life to Him because, you know, I have spent so much time giving my life to the wrong people, doing the wrong things. And I said, I'm going to give my life to God. So I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because I just think that it's so important, for us to be able to have encouragement on this journey. A lot of people, get weary. I'm one of those people. I got weary, but, ultimately, I can say that the rewards are great. Just being able to have a sound mind and not be like persuaded into certain things because I have a different type of self control. It's like when you walk with God, everything is certain. It's certain. You know, like God is gonna come. God is gonna be there for you. God is gonna make certain things happen. You just know it. You just feel it. Like, and then on top of that, you have all of the miracles and you have all of the, all of the examples of things that He's done for you in the past. You have all of those things. So it's like you have these things to back up whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever faith that you need, these things back you up because you've already had so many clear examples of the miracles and the things that He can do. For me, sometimes I see things that make me get discouraged, or I'm looking surface level and I know that it's not what it looks like. I have to remind myself that nothing is what it seems to be, you know? Um, Nothing is what it seems to be. And it's like I'll get like confirmations, like I'll go to God, I'll say, God, what do you want me to do? What is it that you have for me? Like, am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Is this a delusion? And then He will show me different signs and stuff to let me know, like, no, you're not delusional. Like, yes, there is a major blessing coming for you. Yes, I have something in store for you. Yes, I'm by your side. I'm going to make sure you have all that you need. God has just really been pressing down on my spirit. Patience, patience, patience. So much so to the point where the other day, I had a friend over and I found this book, and it's called the Book of Patience. So I knew that God was really telling me, like, I just need you to have some patience, hang in there, because if it's not to you yet, it is for a great reason. It is for a great reason why you don't have whatever it is that you want yet. It is still being worked on. It is still being put together. It is still being, gathered. And I was praying this morning and I was talking to him. I'm like, Lord, I need you to show me some things. Like, what is it that you want me to know? And he kept showing me 6:10, 6:11, like a decision has been made about something and I will receive an answer. And just by, me seeing 10:55 and 10:01, God is letting me know that there is something being prepared, like a house is being prepared, the temples are being prepared, people are being purged, people are being cleansed of the old so that the new can come in. People are being worked on. We are still being worked on. We are in a season of, purging. If you're God's child and you're on this journey, you're in your season of purge. You're in your season of, just being made new. And those things take time because God has to go in and go through every single layer of your trauma. He has to go in and really bring things to your attention and show you certain stuff and put you in certain positions to test you to see, are you really ready for what it is that you're asking for. Boy, when I tell y'all, God has been testing me for this last week. I can't even lie to y'all. Like, I have been in close proximity with males, right? One in particular. I work with a lot of men, but I've been in close proximity with one. And I know God was testing me to see if I was going to bite the apple. Like, Eve, don't bite the apple. Like, don't do it, you know? And he was like pressing on my spirit, like, just showing me the temptation. Like, are you going to be the new Eve? Are you going to bite the apple when you know that I told you that it is forbidden? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to allow yourself to recreate that whole generational thing all over again? Or are you going to break it? So, there was also something else that was coming to me, like, the Eves were left in the garden unattended for too long. A lot of the Adams, like, where was Adam? What was he doing? 612. When I just said that, what was he doing when Eve was in the garden? And she was being tempted by the serpent. Like, what was he doing? A lot of the Eves have been left unattended in the garden for way too long. And sometimes those temptations, like, who knows how many other temptations Eve had before she even, before the apple part even came about. What else in the garden was the snake trying to tempt her with? How else did Satan come to her to tempt her? You know? And there have been a lot of things that have been very tempting to me within the last 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I mean, laid on me heavy. And I literally had to say no. I had to really just like say no and really guard myself and say no. Like, I'm not going to do this, because if I do, I forfeit my promise. There are a lot of people out there that have been waiting on God for this promise. And it's not an easy thing to wait on. It gets hard. We live in a very sinful, stressful world where there are temptations about every single day. And we have to do our best to fight these temptations. We are literally Eve in the gardens. We're Eves in the gardens every single day while Adam is off doing whatever, okay? I have literally been seeing Adam, Adam, Adam on these trucks that have been driving past different places that I go. I've been seeing Adam, and I know that Adams are returning in this season because God said it be so. But the weight that the Eves have had to go through being unattended in the garden for so long is, could be detrimental if they are not strong enough to handle the temptress, the tempting things that come with being Eve and waiting for Adam. Adam and Eve return to each other in this season, and they get a chance to do it differently. Both of them are being tested while they are separated from each other. And God is watching to see, are you going to commit the same thing that the previous Adam and Eve created? Are you going to do so? Or did you learn from that? For myself, I have learned from it. I'm like, no. It was to the point where I was sitting on the step. I was sitting on the steps, and the guy was like eating an apple, right? And I wasn't paying any attention at first that he was eating an apple. But then, like, he came up to me. He was like, "Can you hold this for me?" And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how ironic that he asked me to hold his apple. And as juicy as this apple looks, yo, I'm sitting on the steps, parched, thirsty, thinking to myself, like, dang, I need to get me something to drink. And he asked me to hold that apple. And I literally was just looking at the apple like, dang, like, I want some of this apple. And I just heard God's voice, don't bite the apple, Eve. Don't do it. And I was so petrified that I threw the apple into the trash because I knew that I was being tested. As good as this man looks, as nice as he is, as kind as he is, he literally could be the one. But it is not time. It is not time for me to bite the apple. One wrong move and you forfeit your promise. It is not time. When it is time for you and your spouse, God will bring it together. When it is, and you guys could already be in union, but you don't want to do anything or make any moves until you guys are married. You have a ring on your finger, but there is nothing jumping off until the marriage is sealed. Nothing. Because you deserve to be married. You deserve to have all the things that is connected to your inheritance. And not only does you breaking the rules affect what God has told you, but it also affects your inheritance. The things you were supposed to inherit with the marriage promise, with your wealth transfer. Every single thing is connected to your obedience. So for me, it was just like, wow, like I've got this gorgeous man in front of my face, and he's displaying all the things that you know, that I like, but it doesn't mean that he's the one. It doesn't mean that this is the one I need to jump through hula hoops for. It doesn't mean that. Literally, I could be being tested. And I knew that I was being tested when he walked up to me and asked me if I could hold his apple. And I heard God tell me, don't bite that apple, Eve. I even heard it in a song the other day. It was like a random song that was playing, and I like caught it, and I think it was Jay-Z, and he was like, don't bite the apple, Eve. And I was like, I know that God is speaking. He's watching me right now very closely to see if I am going to forfeit, to see if I am going to bite that apple. And I will not do it because I know that I have been celibate, that I have been waiting for God, and I'm going to continue to wait for God because I deserve to inherit everything that belongs to me. And so do you guys. You guys deserve it. 10:55, I see 10:55 every single day. I see 10:01 every single day. God is preparing these policies. God is preparing these homes. There is something major that is about to take place we don't even see coming. And because of the fact that when this takes place, you are going to be in your obedience, walking with God, He is going to bless you way beyond anything that you have ever imagined that you would ever even have. Because you really remain steadfast no matter what test came in your direction. Eve, don't bite the apple. Adam has left you in the garden unattended for too long, but he will return. And when he does, you will be happy that you decided to wait. When we wait on God, we wait differently. It might be hard, it might be weary, it might be tiresome, but it is going to be worth the while. It is going to be worth the wait. Every single thing that you could have ever imagined that is supposed to be rightfully yours shall be yours because God's word never returns voided. The promise is on its way, guys. I keep seeing 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, the countdown. Okay, for instance, let me tell you guys what happened last night. I was up late, wee hours in the morning, this movie called The Wood. And in The Wood, the guy was getting married, right? 14:44 on the clock when I just said that. The guy was getting married. And he was scared. He had cold feet, right? And his friends were trying to get him to like get to the wedding and all of that stuff. And he just had cold feet. But they showed like his journey from the beginning to the end, like them being friends and him leading up to the marriage. And I couldn't help but to see different numbers: 343, 100, 700. Like, I kept seeing a whole bunch of numbers that let me know that God was speaking to me through this movie. Like, listen, it might not look so ideal right now, but later you're going to understand exactly why all of this had to be. It's all going to make so much sense. And it was so funny because, like, the guy had, like, he was scared. And, like, I started hearing this song in my head. It's called Cold Feet, and it's by a guy named Six Leg. And he he's like, don't leave me hanging, I'm the one. He just like, he's scared. Some of your spouses are scared. They've never done anything like this before. They've never been in a situation where they wanted to marry somebody. Some of them are literally like, oh my God, like, I can't even believe that this is where I'm at in my life right now. I can't even believe that I'm even considering doing this. And they're asking God for confirmations, and He's giving it to them, and they're like in disbelief. Their mind is blown. But they are going to come, and they are going to make it right, and they are going to do exactly what it is that they are supposed to do, because God is leading them to do so. But you have to wait, and you have to remain steadfast just a little bit longer. I promise. God is coming. He does not lie. He doesn't lie. And look, this is how I know that it's real. Because, all right, so um I have this little rainbow on my thing that my son made for me. But this is a reminder every single day that God fulfills His promise, and it doesn't go voided. And just to be a believer, you know, is is a beautiful thing. I mean, last night I had my cry out moment where I just put my hands together like Wonder Woman. I'm like, I believe that. I believe. And look at my little Wonder Woman mask. Like, we are superheroes. To all the believers, we are superheroes. We are, beautifully made in the eyes of the Lord. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. Like, I can't even tell you guys how grateful I am to be a believer, how grateful I am to be a child of God, how grateful I am to have been in my celibacy journey for almost 10 months. Like, I am so grateful, that God has taken me out of my trauma, and He has shown me that, I am not a product of where I've been through or where I came from. I am what He has made me, and He said that I am. I am who I am right now. And I'm so grateful for this, for this walk, for the hard lessons I had to learn, for all of my tests. I'm grateful that I'm able to get on here and speak to you guys, and tell you guys exactly where I am and what I'm doing, and what I see, and how I've been maneuvering through this journey. It's not easy. Every single day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta take a deep breath, because sometimes the devil will come and tempt you and make you think that you're delusional, but you're not. You're not delusional. Like, God is really doing something. He's doing something that you can't see. And sometimes He won't release it because there are still some people around you that are not for your best interest, that He has to get away from you. And once this happens, you will start to see beautiful things coming out of the ethers for you. It's wealth transfer season. So if you see this, I want you to repeat after me. Money comes to me easily. Money comes to me frequently. Money comes to me secretly. Money comes in repeatedly. These are things that you need to repeat over and over again, because this is your wealth transfer season, and all of the energy that you use from God to be able to bring in this beautiful abundance, it's needed in this season. There are a lot of demonic things roaming, as well as light beings roaming, and you want to connect with your angels and God to be able to bring your wealth transfer. It's 11:11 when I just said this. It's 11:11 right now, you guys. This is a serious time. There is a lot of things hanging in suspension in heaven, that it belongs to you. It belongs to you. And God is going to make sure that you have it. He's going to make sure that you have it. He's going to make sure that I have it. We didn't come this far to give up now. No, I didn't come this far to give up now. I will not give up now. I will not forfeit. I don't care what good looking man comes in my presence. I will not give up my vow of celibacy that I have taken a long time ago for anybody that is not coming to fulfill my promise. No, I will not do it. It's still 11:11 on the clock. Like, God is letting me know I'm on target with this message. I'm on target. I understand the virtue in being, celibate. I understand the promise you make with God, the vow you take with God to literally give your temple to Him. I have given my temple to God. I have told him, Lord, you can have me now. I am done with the brokenness. I am done with the trauma. I am done with feeling all of these different things and can't figure out why my life is not changing. Do you guys know that when I donated myself to God, when I gave my temple to God, my life completely changed? Everything for me changed. My speech changed, my posture changed, my mind changed. Everything changed, you guys. And I love the woman that I have become. Like, I love me. Like, you see this, my earrings say love you. I love me. I love the person that I have become. The fact that, I love my person. But the fact that I was able to stand in front of him and say, listen, I love you dearly, but I will not mate with you unless there is a ring on my finger, unless we are married. I will not give to you of myself unless this is what we've done. It was the hardest thing for me to do, but because I love God more and I'm obedient and I was not willing to be a sacrifice, I had to give my life to God and tell my person, like, no, I will not choose you at this time. I'm choosing the Lord. And that's exactly what I did. I chose God. All of this time I've been choosing God. It's working for me. My life has changed. The people I've met, the relationships that I've built, there is nobody that can tell me that God is not real. Look at me. I feel beautiful. Not just on the outside, but on the inside. I feel made over. I feel like God resides with me every single day that I walk out of my house. God is real. He's here. He's flowing through my system, through my body. There is no one that can tell me that the Lord is not real. Because the passion that I feel, because the things that I have seen him do have been immaculate in my life. I can pray to him about finances, or I can pray to him about anything and he will literally talk back to me. I know that some of you guys that are watching this are experiencing the same thing as me. Some of you guys talk to him and he talks back to you. He literally answers you, whether it's on a billboard, whether it's on a license plate, whether it's in a dream. He speaks. He speaks, guys. And he has told me numerous times that he got my back. And I'm not going to go against him for nobody. Don't think that you're going to be perfect on the journey, because you're not. Some of us fall short. We fall short. But at the end of the day, we get back up. And we know there are certain fall shorts we ain't finna take. Like giving up your vow of celibacy after you've been celibate all of this time. It's not going to happen. Because you know the way of the Lord, because you've been walking with him. Anything else is uncertain to you, because that's uncharted waters. But when you walked with God, when you walked with the Lord, it was always certain for you. It was always a guarantee. You always felt that place of peace in your spirit because you knew that God was right there guiding every single move that you made. So don't give up now. Eve, don't bite the apple. Don't bite the apple. I know that Adam has left you in the garden unattended for a while, but don't bite the apple, Eve. Adam is coming. And this time when God asks, what happened? He's not going to blame you, because he's going to take accountability for the fact that he's been missing. for the fact that there have been some things that have been taking place while you guys were separated in the garden. Everybody falls short, Eve. But this time around, you get a chance to do it over. So when the serpent comes to test you with that apple, you throw it in the trash. You're strong enough to fight the temptation. You're strong enough to fight it off. You're smart enough and wise enough to know I don't need to know everything. Why? Because the Lord does. And He's going to guide me and make sure I have everything that I need. Don't bite the apple, Eve. Remain steadfast. You guys have a great day. Love yourselves. Love the Lord. Love. Just love. That's all I can say is just love you guys. Love every inch of yourself, even on the days that you wake up and you might not be feeling so hot. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. It took me a long time to get to this point where I was just absolutely okay with loving me. And a lot of people won't love you. And a lot of people won't see your vision. A lot of people won't understand your walk. And that is okay. It's not for them to understand your walk. It's not for them to understand where you're going or what you're trying to do. Just know that God sees you and He understands that beautiful path you decided to take for Him. You stay at His feet because in this season, Adam returns to Eve, and the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And God knows it. You guys have a great day. And if you would like to purchase some of my vegan makeup, because I have my own vegan makeup line, you can do so at venomlipcollection.etsy.com. Everything is vegan. All of the foundation, eyeshadow, everything that's on my face that I'm wearing is all plant-based. I am also a makeup artist, so if you would like to book me, let me know. Put your comments down below. You can email me at vlcbymarie@gmail.com. If you are looking for a makeup artist, I do travel, I do makeup, and I do use my own vegan makeup line. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next live. Bye. Okay, you guys, so what is going on here? How do I share this?